So what's the new look at the big blue wall? Does it look completely different? Or?
As I say, I don't feel like this line is rebuilt. I feel like it's really just reloaded. We've had some great talent. We've had like my boy Tayshaun in the mix now. But it's just at the end of the day, we've established a culture with the big blue wall, and whoever comes into that culture, coaches believe that that they'll fit greatly within that culture. And I believe Tayshaun and the new guys coming in, I feel like they're doing a great job doing that, just being hard-nosed guys, just bring your hard hat to work kind of guys, just excited to see what the spring and fall has to say about it.
How much have you, I know a lot of people are concerned about tackle, how much have you been working there and at guard?
For now, I've been mostly working at guard. We've put in trying different things at tackle, but at the end of the day, if the team needs me to be out there at tackle, obviously I'm more than willing to do it. But I have more than enough faith in our guys that haven't got a shot yet. Like Dion, like Flax, guys like that they've been putting in the time, putting in the work. Because I remember because Dion's on his third year now, and I was starting. I came into starting from not playing a lot in my third year, so I remember exactly what that was like. So it's just about being the leader that I had when I was coming up. I got the opportunity to play against Landon, play against Landon and Drake. So it's just being that leader, being that little guy for those young guys who just need that extra help, extra step along, because this job is not easy.
You mentioned players fitting in the culture. How's the new coach doing with the culture?
He embodies it perfectly. It's honestly a small world, the fact that he was coached by Schlarman previously, but I feel like that speaks to the legacy of Coach Schlarman. We constantly think about how we leave our legacies, and I honestly believe Coach Schlarman's legacy was bigger than what he did in this building. There's people like Coach Yenzer and Coach Mack, who's with Troy now, and even Drake, just compliments of that legacy of the person Coach Schlarman was. And Coach Yenzer's no different. He's passionate, he's hardworking, and I'm excited to keep working with him and get better.
What is it like to have him and a guy like Drake, who's kind of knows what you all been through, been part of that culture? What does that do to kind of motivate you guys?
It definitely. I don't think we need any extra motivation, but I definitely believe it helps us get all of the information possible. It helps us from a coach's perspective, from a player's perspective, and the fact that we all know Drake, the fact that Drake's even on the back of a wall in the offensive line room, it's just stuff like you just know that when these guys are talking to you, they have your best interest at heart, and they have the best interest of the team at heart. So you take those teachings and you try to apply them even more, because at the end of the day, you know that we have a professional coach coming from the 49ers, and we have an experienced player here who's been in the league. Drake's been in the league as well, so he's been able to take what he's learned in his time in the league and to help us with this as well. So it's just feels good to have just both sides just being able to communicate well.
When you hear that your new coach is coming from the NFL and is a guy that's coached a physical team like that, I mean, what was your initial impression of that?
I was excited because I know the 49ers play great physical football, and I know that's what we try to play here as well. So again, Coach Yenzer, him being a professional, he knows exactly what it takes to get the job done at the highest level. So like I said before, when he says something, we listen, because he was literally just in the NFC Championship a couple months ago. So,
what's it like for a lineman on the day you get to put the pads back on?
Oh, it's a great day for linemen, because that's when all the junk talking ceases. Because when you're not in pads, guys when you put the pads on, you see who's really about it and who's not. And we love that offensive lineman because we finally because you can't go full out if you're not in pads as an offensive lineman. So it just gives us the opportunity to get better. It gives us the opportunity to stay physical. We love, as you've seen in our games, we love hard-nosed physical games. Practice is no different. That defensive line is going to get us right every time. They have a lot of talent over there on the ball still. So it just feels good. Be back out there in pads, just hitting people again, getting them shoulders warm.
What can we expect from you, and what do you expect from yourself this year?
What you can expect from me is my very best. What you can expect from me is everything I got. Because at the end of the day, I've had the privilege of watching generation after generation after generation of guys in the offensive line room lead, watch them excel, watch them go to the NFL and still compete. So at the end of the day, I don't want to be any different from those guys, but the same way I'm going to play my way. I'm going to play to my strengths, and I'm going to do what I have to do to make sure these young guys are right, make sure this O-line is right, make sure this team is right. Because at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest difference in the success of a team, especially our teams, is our accountability. The way we stay on our guys about things. So we can't let the little things slide. We gotta have that attention to detail. And I feel like it's my job now. It's Eli's job. It's the older guys' job to make sure that these younger guys are ready and willing to make sure that they're doing whatever is necessary for the success of the team.
Speaking of those younger guys, how does a kid who's highly regarded like Keontae Goodwin take some of that medicine and embrace learning from you all?
Keontae's a great kid, big kid. But he's very passionate. He's willing to put in the work. He's very coachable. He's ready to listen to anything that if we have any positive criticisms or anything like that, and even if we have to dump on him at times, he's very accepting of that because he knows he's not a finished product. He knows at the end of the day, high school is just the beginning. So there's always room for progression. There's always room to grow, and he understands that, and he's ready to put in that work. And I love to see him work because he's working on himself every day.
Do you have any flashbacks to maybe like when you first got out there? When you think about a kid like that and you know what you didn't know, you may have thought you knew.
Mm-hmm. I think about stuff like that often. I try to now that I'm the old head on the team and in the room and stuff, I try to talk to those guys about things like that, things that I didn't know coming in and what it really took. Because people really don't understand what it takes to be an SEC collegiate athlete until they do it. And obviously you coming in 17, 18 years old and you're leaving 22, 23. That's one of the most pivotal years of your life when you learn so many things about yourself, you know, and about work ethic and about how to compete and how to survive, not just in this building, but in the real world as well, which I believe the coaches do a great job of that, not just about what's going on in here, about how it translates to outside of this. So, yeah.
Each coach teaches young men differently because these days everybody's different. Mm-hmm. You can't coach them all the same way, right?
Correct.
So to me, that points up the fact of how you all mesh together, how this coach's personality mesh with your personality. And you see that as a work in progress, or how would you feel?
Like you said, each coach coaches differently. I've seen the differences in coaching from Schlarman to Wolf to Yenzer, but at the end of the day, like I said, when we've established a culture, it doesn't matter who that coach is, because we know at the end of the day what we need to do to be successful. We've had the opportunity of having great coaches come in here and coach us over the years. So, and unfortunately, there have been times where we've had to continue coaching and just doing our thing without a coach in the room, like when Schlarman went down and things like that. So we've established a culture that it doesn't matter who that guy in the room is. As long as we're doing what we need to do, we know everything's going to be fine.